Hi, how you doing, folks? This is Mitch from Hard Intentions YouTube channel. We also have HARDINTENTIONS.com where we have some really cool stuff. Shirts, hats, art. Check us out. You might find something you like. Hi, how you doing? This is Mitch from Hard Intentions YouTube channel. We also have HARDINTENTIONS.com where we have T-shirts and hats and some other stuff you might like. I just some of you guys know I went on a little trip. We're down in Burbank. Went to another YouTube channel, do a little interview. Had a little studio. It's pretty cool, actually. And, we stopped and saw some friends in Port Hueneme, Big Mex. We love you. And beautiful family, Rose and everybody. We love you all. And we did I guess you call them samples or the introduction videos for the new YouTube channel we're going to start up here in a minute, called A Biker and a Businessman. Then we rode down to Burbank, and my bike had some malfunctions, and it's a brand new bike. Turns out it was a computer glitch, and they had to basically, it has a control module. They had to drain all the information out of it, then reprogram it. But it was only run on one cylinder, and you can't go from Burbank to Northern California on one cylinder. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I let a few people know, hey, what's going on? And they all had different advice for me, And then one of my friends, Turkey Loco, lives in Oceanside. He says, hey, I'm going to come get you and take you home. And I'm like, man, dude, that's, I was just like, let me figure this out, The closest dealer was Orange County, which is an hour and a half away, and good traffic, and it's not good traffic, ever down there. So, he signed out of work, said he had a family emergency, drove his truck from Oceanside to Burbank. We loaded the motorcycle, and he drove us all the way home, stayed about 5 minutes, turned around and split and went home. And, I just was blown away. So was the wife, all the way here, I paid for his gas, and, we stopped by Burger King and had some burgers and, whatever. But we got to talk all the way down here. And later, I told him some stories about Tracy when we went by Tracy and different prisons, and one of the stories I told him was, they got the palm trees on the yard, and certain time of year, the spiders get up in them palm trees and they squirt their webs out and they float across the yard. That's how they travel. So a couple of days later, he told me, he goes, hey, that trip was priceless. And he goes, I'd do it again in a minute. And he goes, not everybody knows about the spiders at Tracy, but I do, because of our trip and our conversation. I got to tell you, man, friendship of that nature is rare, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And it just, that blew me away. And it just made me realize how blessed I am to have just a few good friends. Some of them I met through social media, and we've known for a while now. And some of my friends I've known for a long time, but some of them I've made since I've been out. And, people say, oh, you're a good dude, this and that, you got that confidence. It's beyond, it speaks to the character of the people that are your friends when they do stuff like that for you, friends are not easily found. And it's just like sometimes you find them in the strangest places when you least expect it. That's usually when you find friends. You meet people in places where you least expect, in prison, it's really difficult to make friends. And I do have a few friends out here that I knew in prison. You've seen some of them on my channel. Some of them you won't see on here because they won't come on here. And, some of them, their prison experience was pretty horrific. And, they had to do things inside prison that were, probably make your average Joe, piss his pants, but it was a survival thing. now they're out here in the world, and they, you know, they're definitely not going to talk about it. But you know, when we see each other, we chat. And so those guys are my friends, man. And we went through some crazy shit in there, and they survived it. You know, uh, but you know, it's like you know, acquaintances, man, are a dime a dozen. You're going to meet people um, throughout the course of your life. I have that are just acquaintances, and they, you know, they try real hard at the pretend game of, you know, I'm your friend, but in reality, they're not. They're not your friends. They're just acquaintances, and you know, they're good at that game, pretending. And as soon as the shit's rough, you know, they're on down the road. They're not going to be there, you know, when the shit hits the fan. You know, they're there for their own means, their own ends, whatever. End justifies a means for them. They look at people as a resource, you know. So just remember, acquaintances are a dime a dozen. Um, you know, when you stumble, they're out. They're not gonna wait for you to fall so they can be there and help you up. They're gonna bone out as soon as you start to stumble. You know, whatever their reason is for being around you, as soon as that's looks like it might not be an issue anymore, they're gone on to the next. Um, you know, that's just the way it is. Uh, you know, if you give people enough time, most of them, they'll disappoint you. You know, that's just how life is. Unfortunately, that's how it is. Um, maybe those guys are friends with somebody else that they don't disappoint, but for the most part, most people will disappoint you if you give them enough time, you know. But, you know, uh, I really try not to let other people's disloyalty uh, and whatnot, you know, harden my heart towards other people. So um, just because I run into people that are disloyal, it doesn't mean that I'm going to turn a cold shoulder or, you know, have, like I say, harden my heart towards the next guy who might turn out to be a super solid friend, you know, and a really good person to hang out with. You know, I'm not going to let that harden my heart because, you know, you're going to find more disloyalty than you do anything else. And, but you still got to keep your eye open for the person, man, that's, you know, good stand up person that's there. It's going to be there, you know, like I'll be on the yard. Like I said before, man, if you run into somebody whose game is talking shit about other people, you know, holding court with others about other guys, like taking inventory on people. In the program, that's what they call that. You know, they take inventory on others all the time. That guy's no good. That guy's a rat. That guy's a piece of shit. That guy's this. That guy's that. Just know when they're talking to someone else, they're probably talking about you the same way they talk about other people when they're around you. You know, it takes a while to master the ability to recognize who an acquaintance is and who a friend is. And then, of course, you know, friendships take time to build. It takes time when you meet someone to get to know them, to see their character. Some people's character just jumps right off the page at you. You know, I met somebody at the bike show over in Antioch fairgrounds, man. I seen this guy walking around, and he's like big, giant dude, bigger than me, full of tattoos. And someone introduced me to him. He has a t-shirt company. And, you know, you look at this guy from afar and you think, man, that dude is just a big, huge beast, man. He's a big, huge dude, you know? And so someone introduced me to him, and just couldn't be a nicer stand up dude. And just, you know, his personality just jumped right off the page at you, where you feel like, man, this is a great dude right here. Super cool dude. You know, and he'd been to prison, and he was just, you know, telling me how grateful he is that he made it out of prison. you know, like, hey, I didn't know if I was ever going to get out of there, you know, fuck prison. And he's out here working and hustling and enjoying life. And, but I mean, had just a great big smile, and you could tell he's a stand-up dude. Just a good dude. Other times you're going to meet people whose character is not so good, and that's going to jump right out the page at you. You know, you're going to tell right away, this dude's a fucking turd. You know, this guy's no good. You know, not that you're taking inventory on the guy, but their character and their personality is going to jump right out at you to say, hey, this guy's no good. I'm going to keep this dude at arm's length. Like if you're in prison, there's nowhere to go. I mean, guys could come up to your door, your cell, see them on the yard, see them in chow hall. You might work around them, whatever. There's no escaping them, you know. And they're just people, man, that take inventory on what you are, what you do, how you act. They're always gossiping on the yard with other dudes, and you know, some of them dudes are pretty slick at what they do. And you know, I was able to spot them guys too as well. You know, their game is slipping and sliding through life, and you know, meeting people, trying to use them up, and then fuck them over. You know, I was talking to my friend Jeff, who was in a couple prisons with me, man, and we were talking about one dude. You know, he celled up with some youngster. You know, had him go like $1,000 in debt for heroin. You know, the kid couldn't pay, but he encouraged him, yeah, go ahead and get this, go ahead and get that. And, you know, he's sitting there shooting dope with a kid, getting him strung out and getting him in debt, and go to this guy and get this and that and the other, and encouraging him to go in debt so he could stay loaded. And then, you know, when it came time to pay, he stabbed the kid, you know, because the kid owed money and he wasn't paying. But his game was slipping and sliding, and, you know, pretending to be a good dude, all the while just looking out for his own interests, which was, you know, his interest at that time was just to get high. You know, guys like that, sometimes it takes a minute to see their true colors, but they will sell you out in a heartbeat, for their own ends, you know. It's kind of fucking sad. And you know, the sad part about it is a lot of them dudes that are like that, they play the you know, the race card to the fullest. They're always down talking other races. They're always down talking guys who are friendly or are able to communicate with other races, you know, on a decent level, or even on a professional level, just keeping it real, you know. You know, they're always smack talking with the race shit, you know, and that's a little, you know, that's the shiny object, you know. Look at that no good motherfucker over there, that race trading piece of shit. What's he doing with that, you know, so and so, you know, because then it puts the attention on someone else. That's the game, you know. Look at that no good motherfucker. Meanwhile, they're just slipping and sliding, you know. Some of them dudes, I used to watch them. I'm like, they're almost like artists, you know. It's like an art form. They got sleazy down to an art form, you know. And then, you know, there would be me and my friends sitting in the bleachers, and we'd see them. We'd go, look at that shit, you know. And it, you know, in there, you got to stay up on what's going on. You know, like who owes money, who's fucking at odds with somebody. This guy was in an argument with someone from another race or whatever. This guy just got a write up, you know, and he owes a bunch of money, and he's trying to, you know, you see they're trying to bounce. You know, they're trying to find a way out of paying their debt, which nowadays, well, I don't know what's going on now. I've been out for so long now. I'm so far removed from prison now. I don't really know what's going on in there. But when I was in there, the game was, you know, run up the debt, cause some problems, go to the hole, get transferred. That was the game. You know, pretend you're a good motherfucker the whole while. Meanwhile, you're in the hole, or that guy's in the hole, excuse me, and you're on the yard, me, having to live around the chaos that's created behind his bullshit, you know? And yeah, so some of them guys, they're good at their game. I seen a guy at Corcoran, you know, run up a bunch of drug debts, got caught with knives in his door, went to the hole, got out of the hole, went to another yard, ran up a drug debt, got caught with some knives, went to the hole. That was his game, you know? That's what he did. So, you know, he was good at it for a while. And, you know, he was plugged in with a group of guys. So it was hard to say, hey, that guy's a piece of shit. Because then his buddies would be like, well, you know, who the fuck are you saying our partner's a piece of shit, you know? But everybody knew it. Everybody said it under their breath. You know, I just, you know, I just kept my eyes on shit, kept my opinion to myself and my very close friends. You know, just imagine living around snakes like that. You know, guys that will slide up on you, smile, pretend, right? They're not even acquaintances. They're just guys that are trying to get next to you to figure out. They're trying to figure you out as a resource. You know, you know, you live around that shit for 38 years, man. It's just, you know, it's a rough deal, man, and it can really harden you towards people. You know, or if some guy's a part of a group where there might be 5 or 6, 10 dudes running around a yard, in wanting to know everyone's business, and they got little minions running around because they're trying to get next to them and they're telling them everyone's business. You know, they got their feelers out everywhere. And they got dudes that are more than happy to be their feelers because they're trying to be in good with them, you know. And, you know, some of these guys might kill a motherfucker. For real. You know, like if you're doing shit, whenever I did shit, I learned from Dirty Dennis, you know, rest in peace. You know, you don't tell anyone what you're doing. You know, you don't tell people what you're doing. You don't let people know your business. Meaning, like if you're partying, you don't let them know you're partying. Like I used to snort that crank and smoke weed. I'd say, no, I don't get loaded. Only people real close to me knew that I got loaded, or that I was getting loaded, or that I had a pocket full of dope, in my pocket, you know. Because that's their thing, man. They want to know. And then they'll go tell the next guy and the next guy. Next thing you know, you got some dude saying, hey, you know, how about a kickdown or whatever, you know? And like when I was smuggling tobacco, you know, I used to tell dudes, hey, I don't smuggle tobacco, man, to buy your friendship. I smuggle tobacco to make money for my family and me, you know? So, you know, like Dennis said, used to say, you know, when you got dope, you got no friends. When the dope's gone, the guys that are still around, those are your friends. And you know, when you don't have shit and you're in a pinch, and somebody steps up and says, you know, how can I help you? That's your friend. You know, that really is that really is your friend. What the hell, you know? I mean, ask yourself how many guys are going to be there for you when you need them. You know, when you're in a pinch, somebody steps up to help you. How often is that going to happen? You know, somebody invited me to a party down in Merced a while back, and I was just blown away by it because I got to invite one of my friends as well, and he was like, "Dude, that was the nicest thing I ever been to." And, you know, out of nowhere, hey, come and hang out, let's party. You know, it was cool, and it was true friendship. True friendship's hard to get, man, but you know, just remember, if you find that person, friends don't keep score. They don't keep score on their friends, you know. And you know, if you let someone into your program and they burn you one time, that's it. You know, I'll still rap to somebody after I get burnt, but they're out. You know, they're out of the car as far as friendship goes. I'm not going to disrespect them. Well, it depends on what they do, but I'm not going to disrespect them, call them a punk all the time. You know, I'll be, hey, how you doing, whatever. But they're out. The friendship thing's out the window. You know, that's just how it is, man. I mean, if they do it once, they'll do it again. You know, and you know, if I find out someone's like plotting with other people against me or bad talking you or whatever, or if they actively lie to get over on me, that's it. Happens once, that's it. And usually you can kind of get the feel for it before it comes to fruition, you know. But you know, if you have a true friend, you don't keep score. You don't keep score like I did this for that guy, I did this for that guy. You just do shit for people, man, because they're your friends or they're your family, you know. And you'll see that your true friends will do that for you. And I'm going to tell you something, man. That ride home with my motorcycle was a great time. It was a fun journey, and it just reinforced my, you know, my values as far as friends go. And you know, I just really, there's some really good people out here. Keep your eyes open because you never know when you're going to bump into one of them. And, you know, you never know when you're going to bump into a turd. You know, you got to go into things right here, and they're either going to go down or they're going to go up as far as respect and getting closer to somebody. So, you know, after a while, you get used to reading people. You know, whatever your first gut instinct is, go into that and don't forget it. You know, you meet someone, you get a gut feeling about them, good, bad, or otherwise, keep that with you. That's what I do. I keep that gut feeling. Then later on, I'll be like, you know what? I knew it. You know, I knew it. I knew that was a good dude right there. Or I knew that guy was a turd. You know, eventually, what do they say? Water seeks its own level. It'll come out. Things come out, good, bad, and otherwise. So, you know, life's short, man. Enjoy it. And hopefully you can find people to enjoy it with. Take care of yourselves out there. Whatever it is you do it hard. Thank you. Take care. Appreciate our subscribers. Thanks for stopping by.